Hi, welcome to this presentation. I want to thank you for being here to learn more about the cube estimating, specifically how to put systems together in CubeEdge. Now, during this presentation, I will show you how Cube handles the creation of new systems using the flow diagram and how the information is put together in a way that is then transferred to the submittal process to streamline the workflow. Now, the way CubeEdge is being designed and the intended workflow is for users to get all the parts that they typically use and buy from vendors like relays, sensors, current sensors, controllers, and transform them into kits, what we could cube kits or cube assemblies. Now, those assemblies are what we call a group of parts, like for example, a supplier fan with BFD, you have an output for start-stop, an input for the feedback, a status for the current. And by grouping those parts in assemblies, you will be able to not only link them with your Visio shapes, but also you're going to be able to group them into systems that then they will form your library. And that library would allow you to create estimates and therefore submittals in a very stream workflow. Now let's take a look at the different types of assemblies. But we like to group them into what we call the I/O components. Those are the ones that have sensing elements or temperature sensors or inputs, and then they have outputs. The second group is the labor. That's where you're going to group the hours for programming, commissioning, installation, and anything related to labor. Then we have the groups that are panel assembly or panel fabrication. And last but not least, you have the control hardware, your BAB boxes, your anything that has to do with your component hardware. Then those components are typically they are actually linked to Visio shapes or CAD shapes, and those are actually what comprise a complete systems, as you can see right here. Now, taking that into context, if we look at this typical air handler unit flow diagram, it's a very simple one, but it has a lot of the components that you're going to be using on many different systems. Now, what we do in Cube is that all these different components are grouped into the cooling coil, the filter status, the outsider damper, and therefore, once you have those components, you can use any combination of them to build multiple systems. What we're going to do next is that we're going to use this exact system to build the sample system for this training presentation. Now, to build the system, I'm going to use what we call the system builder. I will click on the control drawing to access the page in which I will build my new system. Now, I'm going to use the image from the example that we selected for this demonstration, and I'm going to start from left to right. I'm going to look for my damper section. In this particular case, I'm going to select the outsider damper with start stop, and as you can see here, I'm going to drop it into my canvas. I will continue to do so. The next one is the filter section, so I will find the duct temperature sensor, the duct sensors. Then I'm going to select the returner filter, like that one. So I'm going to put that one here. Then I will proceed to select the cooling coil right here. I'm going to stretch my image a little bit so it fits my canvas. You have the option of making modifications to the shapes however you see fit. And then I'm going to find the fan section next. I'm going to select supplier fan with BFD. Next, I'm going to do my electric duct heater, heating coils. You can see how the items are being added to the menu in this particular section here. Last but not least is my temperature sensor, supplier temperature sensor here. And then I'm going to select a room thermostat. Okay, great. Now I already have my system selected. I will click on Save Diagram here to make sure that all the changes are captured and the system has been built. Before I get out of the page, I'm going to click here on my grid view. As you can see, everything has been associated, and this is how I put the bill of materials for the new system. I will click on the close option here to get back to my system. And as you can see, in this particular case, all the bill of materials for my new system have been created. Now we have completed building our system. Now, I don't want to finish this training presentation without showing you one of the latest releases of features that we have on this new version. Now, with the system builder, it's a lot easier to get the images associated with the system and then upload it to the system that we're working with. Let me click on the control drawing to access the diagram. From here, I will click on the menu. I will export to PNG, and I will have a PNG copy of this particular system. And next, what I'll do is I will click here. I will drag and drop the image onto the system. I will click on upload, and now you will see that my system is associated with it, with the image, which makes it a lot easier to work with. So this is a huge improvement to this later version. And now building your library and associating images with the library becomes a lot faster and easier. That's it, folks. On to the next training session. We wish you happy learning. Please do not hesitate to contact support if you have any questions or any specific concern. And always remember to work smarter, not harder. Thank you. I'll see you in the next.